Happy Nurses Week, everybody. So I'd like to celebrate you guys for the good work that you're doing. We'd like to celebrate you for changing lives. Like, you guys are doing a really amazing job, and we'd like to appreciate you for that. Like, if you saw in the news recently, this lady was working in a dispensary, and she was the nurse, she was driving the ambulance, she was the midwife, she was doing everything. And I was like, you guys are really doing a lot of work, and it takes a lot of passion to do that. So we really celebrate you guys. And so today I wanted to create a video about the nursing specialties that are available, because I usually get it from you guys that what do nurse midwives do, what do operating room nurses do. And so I like to create about that, so that at least you can know which specialty to get into. And if you guys would like me to get into a certain specialty, like into depth, you can tell me down in the comment section. So yeah, let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Loise Oduor, and on this channel I talk about nursing. I also do vlogs and videos on here. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you consider clicking on that subscribe button. So the first one is travel nurse. Like, I know most of you have heard about travel nursing, though like here in Kenya most people haven't gotten into travel nursing. This is whereby you like go to other states or other countries, and then they pay you for the like house allowance and for the like time that you're there. And they usually say that most travel nurses even make money more than the other regular nurses, and this is something that usually see most travel nurses brag about. The other one that we have is the nurse anesthetist. If I'm not pronouncing it well, never mind. So for them, they usually paid really high. Like, they're one of the most highest paid nurses, if I'm not wrong. Like, nurse anesthetist, travel nurses, NICU nurses, like they're one of the highest paid nurses. And so for them, like, they usually work in the theater mostly. Like, they help in intubating the patient, they help in care of the patient during surgery, and also like in preparing the patient for like anesthesia. So that is where they usually work, and I usually hear that they're paid like, I don't know, $100,000 in a year or something. Like, it's really high. Like, oh my god. Next, we have pediatric nurses. Like, if you really love working with children, you can get into pediatric nursing. And then they also have nurse midwife. So for the nurse midwife, they usually work with the pregnant mothers through pregnancy and also during delivery, and also have some who work like for the home deliveries. So you can be a nurse midwife and you can work with midwives. Next, we have the mental health nurse. So for them, some of them usually work in the psych facilities. Like here we have Madari. So we usually have the KRN, mental health and psychiatric nurses. So for them, they've just studied the like KRN for mental health specifically. They've already like specialized in it. But then you can, like, for me, I did the general nursing, but also when we went to school we did mental health. So you can, after doing the general nursing, you can then later on like specialize into doing only mental nursing. So you can work in the psych facilities, but you can even have your own like facility. Like, you can have a private facility by yourself, or maybe as an assistant like to a doctor. Like, you can work with a certain doctor who was already like specialized into mental health, if you're getting me. We also have the NICU nurse. So that is the neonatal care. So they usually work with the neonates, that is, for example, the premature babies. So they care for the babies. And then we also have next the professors. You can be a nurse professor. Like, for us to become nurses, someone had to be there to teach us, yeah? So if you like teaching, if you like engaging with students, you can decide to be a professor. And also, like, it's usually a plan, especially if you're heading towards retirement, because, you know, nursing is a tiring work, and at times you feel like, oh my god, I'm really tired, I want to quit. Instead of quitting, you can be a nurse professor and be like you're a teacher, then like teach the other students, then like it is like your way to retirement, if you're getting me. And then you also have like critical care nurses. Like, critical care, emergency care, like they usually like go hand to hand, so you can get into critical care or emergency care. And then something that was really interesting that I've never heard about, but I came to realize about it recently, is the cruise ship nurse. Like, isn't that just the amazing thing, the amazing place to work, the cruise ship nurse? Like, I realized something about nursing. There's always somewhere to fit in as a nurse. Like, there's always like somewhere, like whichever organization there is, they usually need a nurse. Like, every other place usually need a nurse. So you can, anything that you've ever been interested in and you became a nurse, just know you can always like have a specialty in that place. Like, can you imagine, we have prison nurse, school nurse, so like every other organization they usually need a nurse. So we have public health nurse, like you can even get into public health by itself, but then you can also be a public health nurse. We have infusion therapy nurse, we have health admin nurse. So the health admin, I came to know about health admin when I realized that one of the managers in a certain hospital was a nurse. So you are a nurse, but then you like have the highest rank, like you're the one who is like the managers and the administrators, but then you're a nurse in that hospital. Yeah. And then we have home health nurse. Like, this is mostly what most Kenyans usually go to do in abroad in most other countries. You just get into home health care. And then we have disaster management, like for the disaster management nurses, like they assess for the risks in case of any disaster, like they get into first aids. Yeah. And then we have forensic nurses. Like, forensic nursing is also so interesting. Like, you deal with the investigative stuff, like if there's any crime, or you get into forensic. Yeah. And then you can also be ICU nurse, ICU, theater, critical care, like, yeah, you can get into one of those. And then I talked about prison nurse. And then something else, when it comes to the labor and delivery section, it can be a women health nurse. Like, for me, I usually love things in relation to reproductive health. So for me, if I wanted to decide, I'll become like a women health nurse, labor and delivery nurse, or nurse midwife. Yeah. And then you can also get into trauma nursing, school nurse, research nursing. Like, if you're interested in research, though for me when I was in college, like, research wasn't my thing, but if you're interested in research, you can get into research nursing. We also have radiology nursing. We have plastic surgery nursing. Like, there's this nurse, I can't remember her name. If I remember it, I'll put it down in the comments, like down here. Like, for her, like, she works in a plastic surgery like clinic, and like she really does amazing work, and I love the way she talks about it. Like, it's amazing. Yeah. We also have legal nurse. Like, when it comes to the forensic area, you can also do legal nursing. We have military nurse. If you know about, oh my god, why am I not remembering their names? Like, she does military nursing, and like the way she dresses is just amazing. Like, I love it. We have nutrition nursing. You can get into oncology nursing. And I also talked about operating room nurse. So as you can see, there's so many nursing specialties, and whichever area you were interested in, let's say you're interested in nutrition, but you did not do nutrition, like, you can get into being a nutritioner. If you are interested in anything like the theater room, operating room, you can always be a nurse. Like, in the theater room, there's so many sections. Like, I also had, like, you can just be a receiving nurse by itself, or a circulator nurse just by itself. Like, there's so many, like, there are 100+ specialties for nurses. There are so many specialties. You just have to realize which sector you're interested in. Especially back from when you are still in school, you can just realize that there's a place that you feel it's so interesting for you. For example, for me, when it comes to theater is a no-no. Like, with theater, I never liked the environment, not in a bad way. Like, I just don't like seeing people being open. I think this is because the people I encountered were really like critical emergencies, and I was really traumatized, and I ended up not liking theater. But then there's so many options. So many people usually ask about theater nursing, and they're usually confusing with it's called theater technology. So it's not theater technology. Like, the theater technologist and the theater nurse, they're two different people. Yeah. And then another area, let's say you're interested in reproductive health. There's so many other minor areas in reproductive health that you can get into as a nurse. So whichever area you're interested in, that you can just get into it, then start working in that place. Then later on, you advance your education, and then you specialize in that place, and you become a nurse practitioner. So I'm wishing you all the best, guys. Like, whichever area you want to specialize in, just tell me down on the comment section. If you've already specialized in a certain area, you can also tell us down in the comment section how that place is for you, so that at least you can encourage someone who is interested in specializing in that place too. But then I'm wishing you guys all the best. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on my next one. Happy Nurses Week. Bye bye.